Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
How sweet it is. I tell you, how sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What's up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated, as my camera also glitches as well. So happy to see all of you guys here. We are back. We are officially back. See, I don't get it. I don't get this whole eCam thing anymore. I feel like eCam now is like the devil, but there's also like a gremlin out to get me because one of my lights isn't working. I tell you, it's always a thing. It's always a thing. You don't care about that. You care more about, I said you care more about pouring yourselves just a little bit of,
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
as we cruise into the weekend. And I'm, like I said, I'm happy to be here. It's been, what, 2 weeks since we've done this show. Tons to talk about. We talked about some stuff on Monday. We have more stuff to talk about today. Again, I'm sorry about the camera. I'll try to fix it, I guess. I don't know. But if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. I'm also feeling pretty good because I started a new show. And the show is damn good. So we'll talk about that as well. If you have stuff you guys want to talk about, put it in the chat, of course. I may even send out a link or two. We'll see. But without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, it's me. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Good to see you guys. Good to see you here on the show. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I thought for a while maybe my camera was the problem. But for work, I use the same camera, no issues, no flashing, glitching, or anything like that. So, I don't know. I don't know. But I might have to just plug in my other camera and go from there. But I'll say hi to everybody first. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see you. If you ain't first, you're last. Shake and bake. Let's go. Let's go. Man Collects in the house. Good to see you. I'll tell you who's eating these days. It's the Man Collects. Because I tell you what, Toddy Mac, killing it. He's been killing it. Rambling Nerd in the house. Good to see you. Yep, Dave beat you. Shake and bake. Look at this good hair squad between you, Man Collects, Dave, and Aaron. Look at that in the house. Good to see you. Millennium Workshop also. Somebody with great hair. Patrick, another one. Somebody with great hair. It's just me. I'm the only one without great hair. That's all right. That's right. We'll make it through. We'll make it through. Legacy of Nerd in the house. Good to see you. Another person. Great hair. I think everybody in the chat has great hair. It's just me. It's just me. Again, I'm the problem. It's me. But let's get these plugs out the way. Of course, nerdaffiliated.com. Links for all the latest shows, latest clips, all that fun stuff over at the website. You can also pick up some sweet, sweet merch, like your own nerd-affiliated t-shirt. But if you're into the Ghostbuster side of things, we have the realnerdbusters.com where you can find photos from like Ghostbusters Day, links to the Ghostbuster videos, Ghostbusters photos, all that fun stuff. So you have options. Of course, we're on Instagram as well. You can head to the Real Nerdbusters on Instagram. I keep saying the same thing. I'll keep saying it again. Links to everything, links to all the shows, clips, all sorts of fun stuff there. And then there's also Nerd Affiliated on Instagram for the same thing. The same damn thing. Yeah, Todd and the pre-orders are hitting and kicking my ass lately. Yeah. So I think I talked about it on Monday. I'll talk about it again. Drink some ice water with a splash of lemon. It's hot as hell, this room. I'll come back to that. I came back from the honeymoon. It was a great time. If you guys want to see pictures, make sure I'll come back to this actually. Because I don't really plug this a lot whenever I do streams. I plug it, in pictures and posts and stuff like that. But if you're into photography, I have my own photography like Instagram, Book of Archer. It's also bookofarcher.com, but Book of Archer on Instagram. That's where I post strictly just photography. And that's where I was posting a lot while we were on the honeymoon. I was trying to post every day just to kind of show what we were doing as we traveled around. We went to 2 different islands that are a part of Portugal. Went to Madeira, however they want to say it. And after that, we went over to the Azores, as they call it. So it was a good time. Lots of photos, lots of cats, a lot of fun animals. It was a good time. It was hot. It was sweaty. Your boy was sweating a ton. A ton. I'm going to set up the other camera. And I'm probably, because I don't have my other batteries sitting around, so I might run out of juice. Let me see. Do I have? I don't know where my camera bag is. But I'm going to plug in my other camera because I think the other camera has been working with Ecamm. As you guys look at me sweating in real life and on the screen. All at the same time. But I can do 2 things at once. I can talk and set up. Jack of all trades. Master of none. Mega Demon in the house. Good to see you. So, like I said, talking about Toddy Mac, and then coming back from the honeymoon, a bunch of pre-orders all hit at the same time. Things I wanted, but not the thing I wanted. But I'll talk about what I got. Also, very DC heavy as far as updates. So hang on. I'm almost there. Just going to turn this bad boy on and let's see how it works. Definitely don't need image stabilization. So maybe I could turn that off. Where are you at? There it is. All right, I'm going to plug this in. Put it on my desk. But yeah, a bunch of pre-orders hit one time. And as they would say, there was a theme. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let me just plug this in. I was also shooting on this new lens that I got. I'll be using it now. Of course, the cable's not long enough. We're gonna get this. All right. So, let's see. Because now this thing is saying it doesn't work. All right. Better. Switch this one over. Better. Turn that off. So yeah, now you just have sweaty me all up in your grill. But hey, that's part of the charm, right? Part of the charm. All right, that'll have to do for now. Let's see, unless I can do this. Boom. Now you can definitely see the sweat. But the camera quality, I think, is much better on this camera. So I might have to make this a thing. I might have to make this a thing. Actually, let me just change one other thing. Let's see. Brightness. Oh, I'll change brightness on here. There we go. All right. All right. All right. EC collecting the house. Good to see you. We did it, guys. We did it. But I think that's what we're going to do going forward. This is a new camera, but it's also my photography camera. So I'm going to have to like set it up and break it down whenever I do stuff, but is what it is. Is what it is. So back to what I was saying before. We had a bunch of pre-orders show up. Not the main one I wanted, but I came home to this good stuff. Who secured the packages while you were away? Good thing I have some good neighbors. Like State Farm, good neighbors are there. They brought the boxes in, so we were good to go, because there was a lot of boxes, as you can see. A lot of boxes. Aaron likes his camera more. Yeah, for sure. I think it's time to retire the M50. That's what I've been using, but I think it's time. Might be time. So we got a lot of boxes that came through. A bunch of pre-orders came through at the same time. And a couple gifts from the one Dave's Dimension. Hooked me up with some Ghostbuster photos, an autograph as well. So thank you, sir. But on the DC train, we had the Tumblr come through. And we had the animated series Batmobile come through. So I'm excited to open both of those. We also had the Ghost Rider motorcycle come through. So a lot of vehicles arrived while we were gone. And I'm happy to have them. But the only problem is I don't know where to put them all. I don't know where they're all going to go. But I do want to photograph them. That's for damn sure. For damn sure. But what I did want to arrive was this baby. Really, really, really wanted this hot toy to be one of the things that came, but it didn't. It didn't. The girls never came. The girls never came. Name that movie. Great Scott Prop Shop in the house. Good to see you. Dave said, so jelly at the Batmobile. I'm telling you, from all the toy hunting videos I've been watching, it is not going to be hard to find. It's not going to be hard to find. I thought it was going to be. I really thought the Batmobile was going to be a tough one. So I ordered it right away. I don't think it's sold out right away. I think it took some time. But I was afraid. I was afraid it was going to sell out. And as I was watching JB today. He came across it. And there was like 4 on the shelf. A couple other people also have come across the Batmobile. So I think you can, I think you'd be able to get it for sure. Great Scott Prop Shop in the house. Good to see you. Wait, did somebody say Hot Toys? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So this, sadly enough, is not my first hot toy. It was originally, it was the first hot toy I purchased, but it's not my first hot toy. Again, shout out to Dave's Dimension and Dre and EC and Joker. I got my very first hot toy in hand, which was Luke Skywalker, Mandalorian Season 2 Luke Skywalker, which I think is great as a Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker as well. but technically it's Mandalorian. So that's my first one in hand. But the Hot Toys I've always wanted were Big Lebowski, Miles Morales with Bodega Cat, and Michael Keaton Batman. So they finally announced Michael Keaton Batman. So I bought it. My first Hot Toy purchase. That was a raffle win. And it's been, I feel like, a year and a half since they announced this thing. It's been a hot minute. But Hot Toys at Comic-Con showed this off. Or not, they had their own thing going on at the same time as Comic-Con. But at their own thing, they showed this off. And they also had the Batman Returns Batman there, which has a different chest armor. It's more armored looking, I guess. No texture like this one does. A lot of people are pissed about the texture on this because in the initial photos, it didn't have that texture. Let me actually go to Sideshow. Will Batman be here? It should be. He should be. Here we go. So yeah, in these photos, it's really hard to see it, but apparently there's a texture all over it, and it didn't really come across. So it does look like Rhino Liner. And yeah, I'm jealous you got that. I am jealous you got that. So people are pissed about it. Is what it is. I think it looks great. But over the weekend of Comic-Con, they showed more pictures of this as well and dropped a whole like blog post about it. So that kind of led me to believe it would be arriving pretty soon. At the top here, you can see you can join the wait list on this, and it says expected to ship August 2024 to September. So is this expected ship date when you join the wait list and you purchase it, or if you already had ordered it? I don't know. Yeah, still going to display it for sure. So this is my first official Hot Toys purchase. So I can't wait to get it. Can't wait to photograph it. It's going to be great. But you'll see here, they opened up the wait list on, oh, this is Modern Suit Batman from The Flash. Also, August to December. What I'm jealous of here is it comes with the maskless option and a cowl. So you can have that cowl piece. So I am jealous of that. Yeah, for sure. But I'll tell you what. I was scared. Let me see if I could find Batman Returns Hot Toy. So this is old here. And I think this might even be a knockoff. Is this one the knockoff? Oh, no, it is the Hot Toys. So I was concerned when I saw the new body they have coming out. I was concerned that it was going to come with a maskless option. Like an updated Bruce Wayne maskless option. And I was going to be pissed. If the Returns one comes out and it has that. But I don't think so. I don't see the latest photos. I don't know why nobody here has. It's 2016. No. Oh, wait. I feel like I just saw it. No. Anyway. When it does come out, I kind of hope it doesn't have the maskless. If it did, if I knew up front that the Returns was coming without the mask, I may have ordered that over the 89, even though the suit's a little different. But having the maskless option would have been pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. But either way, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So we have that, and yeah, just living that Batman life, that DC life. Tough choices: nostalgia or upgrade. You know, I like both movies. I do like both movies. I feel like I'm not pot committed to one over the other. So if you put both choices in front of me, I would choose the one that had the more cool things. Whatever had the most like extra accessories would be the one for sure. 10 watching, 8 likes. Smash that like button and share the stream to your mama, your baby mama, your daddy, your parole officer. Share it everywhere. Love that. And then Dave, talking to Rex, says what's really addicting is 3D printing. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah. Now this thing, if I had the space, if I could turn back time. Now, what was cool too, before I go back to my stuff, this is really it's gonna be a Batman heavy stream. I should have labeled it Batman. It should have been what I did. So Seth did an unboxing this weekend. And last week, he got the 89 Batmobile from Hot Toys. That was also announced. So I think, if I'm remembering in order, I feel like the Batman figure was announced, and then they announced the Batmobile right after that, like pretty close. And that's when they announced the Batcave computer as well. And it was just like, the room doesn't exist. The room doesn't exist. But let's take a look real quick.
Guys, and here is the Batmobile, and oh my god, this thing is absolutely amazing. You can see down in the front, the lights and everything, the hood. Just do a quick overview of the top of it, going down to the back and then around, and then you guys can see the tail lights and everything. This thing is just absolutely awesome. And again, this cover right here pops up. There's the rod that I was talking about, and you can look inside and you can actually see all the dials and everything, and these little levers in here actually move. The steering wheel moves. You got the seats and everything back there, which is crazy. And again, you can see all the buttons and dials and everything in there, which is really cool. And again, this is just awesome. Again, this is where like the covers go for the machine guns, and the machine guns are there, and I'll show you that in a second. And again, this is where that other cover goes for where the discs go. This piece actually right here folds down, and that's where the grappling hook goes. And again,
it's insane. It's insane. So I have to admit, I like where Seth's collection is going, as far as he's going for like the 80s, 90s nostalgia. So he has like a display for like the figures to his favorite movies versus just like buying everything. That's kind of where he's going with it. But this thing is like insane. It's massive. And it's massive. And I did want another one. I wanted to buy it, but I was like, where on earth would I put it? I just... Nowhere. This is another one that like pissed people off. This is the second time they've released a Batman with the Armory. Comes with Christian Bale Batman. Pretty good. Now, Hot Toys themselves, what, normally $250, maybe depending on what it is, $300 for a single one. So you're getting 2 Hot Toys and a display piece for $565. It's pretty good. So if you're a Dark Knight trilogy fan, I mean, getting this Bruce Wayne with your Batman, no brainer. No brainer. Yeah. Let's see if the Batmobile's still here, and maybe we could see what the price was, because I don't remember. Tumblr $635. There you go, $720. Man. Lights up. Interior lights up. That rod, though, is probably my only complaint. If I'm to nitpick this thing, I hate that that's there. I wish there was a way that the hood can move, or the canopy can move without that rod being there. But in Photoshop you could remove it if you had to. But I mean, come on, this is the photo right there. And they did the cape swoop from that scene in the '89 movie when he's looking up at Joker in the helicopter. Great photography. Has the thing to spin. Has the fins on the side from Batman Returns. So if you want to get the Batman Returns Batman and you want to show, if somehow you want this out to show this is the Returns display versus the original, you can put that in there. But it's just wild. Absolutely wild. But I don't know where the Returns one is. I don't know why they haven't shown it yet. I wonder if maybe Toy Shiz had pictures of it. He wasn't at that event. If he doesn't, then what's his face would have it. Justin Collects. Yeah, I don't see it. Ah, well. But the Bat missile? Was there a missile in Returns? I don't remember. He shot a missile off in that movie? I can't recall. Cannot recall. But I will stick with Batman for now and talk about this. I'll talk about this. So, today, Amazon dropped Batman Caped Crusader. I don't think it's the Caped Crusader. I think it's just Caped Crusader. Yeah. Bat Missile was the skinny version of the... Oh, when the sides came off. That's right. When he went down the alleyway. Yeah. There you go. Good call out. Yeah. I had that... was it McDonald's? Did McDonald's make that toy? Where I don't think the back portion had wheels to move, but I remember you can push the button and then the center part shot out. Let me see. McDonald's Batmobile. Yeah, right? Was it this one? Yeah. I had that. Loved it. Yeah. Great Scott remembers. Dave says Archer might lose a point off his nerd license for that. Why? Because I didn't know the the bat missile. I didn't know it was called the bat missile. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. But somebody wants to join. Someone's joining the conversation. And I think it's because we're talking about Batman. So, ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, he's going to cover the camera until I can hide him or add him and then remove the camera. So we have the one, the only Anthony, the rambling nerd in the house. Sir, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I think you are now good on the camera.
I just have it on the back camera and face down on the desk.
All right. Great. Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm all right. And yeah, I had to jump in because you don't remember the bat missile. I didn't know it was called the bat missile, but I knew what they were talking about the second they said it. But
I can't lose points for that. You guys are making me think that Batman had a missile. So that's where I was like, I don't remember him having a missile.
I do. So I will forever say one of the cooler things in the Grant Morrison run was when him and Damian have to get to like the other side of the planet in a hurry. And suddenly he forgets that he has the Justice League teleporters, and him and Damian hop into a rocket. And, you know, Damian's like, "You have a rocket? Mom doesn't know about this." And he just goes, "There's a lot of things I have that people don't know about," or something to that effect. So,
yeah.
But, could you go back to the toy on the Happy Meal toys on the screen for a second?
Yeah.
No, Dave. I am not Nerd Jesus. Definitely not. By the way, if I jump over to YouTube app, do I lose? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I still hear you.
Okay, cool. This way I can see the chat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Dave, I am definitely not Nerd Jesus. Okay, yeah, I definitely had the 91 with the yellow wheels in the preview screen on the right. Wow, I haven't thought about that in a while.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, you were talking Batman, and I think you were about to talk about the Amazon show, so I figured now was my time to jump in. That, and I just finished dinner, so.
Did you have all of the figures like this?
You know, I did, and actually I had like, do you remember, I don't know if they still do it, but remember like they used to give you like a lantern bucket around Halloween for your Happy Meal?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had like 3 of those, and I just had like a lot of Happy Meal toys in there. I had all 4 of the Bat toys that I see there on the screen. And yeah, God knows where they are now, probably long gone. But
I remember Penguin's umbrella. I think it spins when you move that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
And then the boat and the Batmobile, yeah.
Yeah.
Josh had the full-size toy for Batman Returns, and I remember the center of it would shoot out. Well, is he in the chat? Josh, are you in the chat? Do you still have that?
He's not in the chat. He might show up.
Probably being a friggin' father or something. Jeez.
Great Scott is talking about the cups. I think those were Batman Forever cups. The frozen looking ones, ironically. McDonald's Batman cups. The only reason I remember that is I remember having the Riddler.
Yeah, I remember drinking out of a Jim Carrey cup.
Yeah, this one here.
And actually, it's funny. Speaking of Forever, I caught myself watching it a little bit the other day. It was on.
Really?
It was randomly on HBO, and like I didn't feel like listening to the news and being depressed. It was like it had to be last weekend. Yeah, because I was just flicking the channels. I didn't feel like the morning shows.
Yeah.
Randomly found myself on HBO. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of like a painted Batman, like Jim Carrey on like a pint glass. But yeah, no, I started watching it and then I quickly turned it off.
Yeah.
Had me for a second, and then the minute he says I'll get drive-through, I was like, oh right. Like,
oh, so Great Scott, you had these. He had or was it you that just said that about the pint cup looking ones?
I thought maybe
you said it, and then he's saying it here
jumbled.
too.
Yeah. My
This one I don't
grandmother
remember.
does have, it's not a full collection, but she does have a couple, I'll take pictures, a couple probably original Star Wars glasses, like painted and
Ooh.
everything. Probably like everything else from back in the day, highly, highly toxic to drink out of, but you know. Yeah,
Probably.
I remember that Batman cup on the left with him charging, running, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Scooby life in the house. Good to see you.
Scooby!
Yeah, these are great. These are great. So I was gonna talk about a cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
and then you jumped on. So
Yeah.
Batman Caped Crusader dropped today. I will say, and I'm ashamed to say this. I'm sad all 10 episodes dropped at once because I feel obligated to watch them all in one sitting. I only made it halfway. So, but I wish I was able to like mentally space it out. But at the same time, it's great to just kind of sit down and binge some Batman old school style. So when I wrote the blurb here for our pages, I noted that these were just early thoughts, but that it is very much the animated series. But it's just weird not having Kevin Conroy there. So where are you in the show, and are you enjoying it?
I've only watched the first episode, the pilot, I guess, technically. Yeah, I think I said in the chat, I feel like this is definitely just right back in the original run of the animated series artwork.
Yeah.
You know, some tweaks, but like I'm gonna have to go back and check. But I want to say that police headquarters is the same damn building from the animated series
Oh,
that you see in the first one. Like it just looks so familiar to me. And I mean, for only being one episode in, I'm enjoying it. Like we said, you know, I don't even know who's voicing Batman. He has the unenviable task of doing something like that's going to remind everybody of the animated series in so many ways, and he's not Kevin Conroy.
yeah.
So, you know, I'm going to probably not even judge the voice. I mean, they are already doing one thing I don't like with it, which is like, I feel like even when he puts on the Bruce Wayne voice, it's not much different than the Batman voice.
Yeah.
So that's annoying. And I think I've told this story before. When I met Kevin Conroy at Comic-Con, I asked him real quick, I was like, why did you stop doing the two different ones? He goes, they made me. He goes, I thought they should definitely keep two different voices, but they told me to just keep doing it, like doing the Batman voice even when he's Bruce Wayne. So he understood. He understood the assignment.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm excited to watch it, and just because I have fleeting moments of free time, I'll be able to space it out to probably at least a week before I finish the whole show.
Yeah.
Oops.
Let me see if I can find who's.
The car looks sick. I don't mind the car.
Yeah, the car's good.
And
Usually they have all the
I mean,
pictures here, but
I like that it's on Prime. Definitely. I mean, I don't think this is a spoiler because I'm pretty sure it was mentioned in like an article. Definitely the more adult version of the animated series right off the bat, and I'm okay with that.
yeah. So I'll talk about that. So this is the guy voicing Batman, and I will say that those are almost impossible shoes to fill. Like I think.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's a way to do it. And what's weird about the show is that it is so similar to the OG show, to the animated series, that it just feels wrong that it's not Kevin's voice. And I mean, it is what it is. But what's crazy about this show, as I was watching it, was I was like, I got multiversal feels where, you know, when you watch the MCU or, you know, Loki, the new Deadpool movie, this isn't a spoiler, Spider-Man, when you deal with multiverse, even though it's the same person, they look different, they're still human, right? They're still like a person. They don't look like a different species when they're coming from a different universe or dimension. The show, weirdly enough, in my brain feels like an alternate reality animated series thing, because it looks so close that I'm expecting the characters to even look like the OG characters, but they're not. But I love that it's the same animation. So it feels almost like, oh, we're going to make another version of the animated series. Like, it feels like this could have been like what was a version when they originally wrote the animated series, but then they decided to go with this other art style. Like that's how it feels, which is good. One of the issues I was going to run into if they did it this way was I didn't want this to be in the style of new TV shows where it's an entire season of one story and every episode is just like the same people trying to get through the same plot. I didn't want that. And we didn't get it. Sure enough, I'm 5 episodes in, so halfway through. Every episode is its own standalone episode. You can kind of just jump in and you'll be fine at the moment.
No.
Yeah.
That's interesting because without saying anything, the things that happened in the first episode, I felt like, oh, this was going to be like a singular.
It sets it up
singular
like
story going forward. Yeah, but that's nice to know that it'll be different because that's also very much what the original did.
Yeah.
I don't think the original ever had like Superman. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even think like the new. So there's the animated series. There's the New Adventures of Batman and Robin, and then there's just what was the final version called where it had Nightwing in it? Was that Gotham Knights, or did they just call it like the New Adventures of Batman?
It was tied to the New Adventures of Batman.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
So like I don't think in any of the 3 iterations of Batman that we had, I don't think they ever did like a season long theme. I think Superman the animated series didn't do it. I don't think that happened until Justice League, right?
Well, so here's the thing. Even with those shows, it wasn't necessarily that there was one plot, but things would happen that did build off of previous episodes. Like, even looking here, like there's the introduction of Catwoman, and then you have Red Claw shows up, and then there's, a season later, Red Claw shows up again. But it's not like, there's a callback there, but it's not like you have to watch everything in between.
Yeah.
So that's what this show is doing. This show is building on itself, but you can very much, I think, jump into a random episode. And if you still have an idea of Batman lore, when names are dropped, you're just like, oh, okay, that's this person,
Gotcha.
Can I talk to you about some of the changes they made that aren't really spoilers?
You said you can't?
No, I said, can I talk about changes, even though I don't think they're really spoilers?
It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I mean, I've read articles here and there, so I may have remembered it. We can talk about the big change in the first episode if you want.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can talk to.
So let me just pull up pictures here. So the big one because, everybody nowadays wants to, everything is woke. Everything is, trying to screw up history, whatever it may be. But they changed Harley Quinn. That was the first one that people saw, and they were like, oh, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. And actually, this picture is wrong because this is not Renee Montoya here. This is actually Harley Quinn. They made Harley Quinn Asian. And people lost their shit online. They're like, oh, what the fuck? Blah, 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 blah. They do other changes. I'll leave that. I won't say those because they're not pictured, so I won't mention them. But they've made changes to a couple people as far as their races go, and perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. There's nothing about it that is like in your face to be like, hey, we made this change. You better like it. Like they're just the characters being the character.
Mm-hmm.
Harley Quinn is in the first like 4 episodes, maybe, as a character. I won't spoil her plot thread, but really good. Really good. Different interpretation of Harley Quinn. And I actually like it. I do really like it. The interesting one, when you guys watch the show, and I'm curious to see what people think, is Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent in the show, he's in the first episode, I believe, right? Did you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in it a couple times.
Yeah. He's kind of an asshole. Like he's an actual like lawyer, which I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like it's weird, but I like it because that's kind of how you think a hotshot lawyer who wants to be a politician would be, kind of like a jerk. So I really much enjoy that.
Yeah, I enjoyed all the dynamics and changes from the first episode. Like, kind of like you said, I guess I did it without even really thinking about it, but I just figured it's like an alternate universe from the animated series. So, because can I say it's only the big change in the pilot episode.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the other big one, but go ahead.
Yeah. The other big one is Penguin is a woman.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what they said her name was. Like, it's still Oswald Cobblepot, but just a woman, and I can't remember if they made it like I honestly, anyway. So yeah. But I mean, same thing. Like, okay, she's a woman, but they made her badass.
Yeah.
And I don't really have a problem with anything that I saw. So
no, I mean, she, if anything, again, no spoilers. She's almost more savage than Penguin's ever been.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Oh yeah, no, I like the hell out of it. That's why.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of almost. You're saying that it's more or less their own individual episodes. I hope we see her again later in the season.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave says here, gonna be hard because besides Keaton, Kevin will always be our Batman in animation, or when reading comic. We'll always hear Kevin's voice, not a hot take or digs, just a fact for some of us. 1,000%. It's always, anytime I read Batman, it's Kevin's voice. Every time.
Oh yeah, and if I ever read to that point too, even like a Batman Beyond comic, Will Friedley, or however you say his last name, he's Terry, and I hear Old Man Bruce in Kevin Conroy's voice. So yeah, it's just whoever you grew up with. I'm sure for some people, the what was it called? The Batman cartoon that really nobody kind of liked, where at first Batman? He has a really was it just called The Batman?
The one where he's young, but he has like all the tech in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that one. For some people, I'm sure that Batman is, that's their Batman voice. So it's just a matter of what you grew up with.
Yeah. Dave says, I mean, Harley was a character created for the original animated series, so reinvention of the character shouldn't be too far-fetched. But I guess some people might have a preferred mental image. What I think happens a lot, and it's what pisses me off about people passing judgment on gender swaps and race swaps, is they're so quick to throw a woke card out that they don't even wait to see how it plays out. And I remember when, actually, how far back can I go on this? I don't think people were as mad when Nick Fury changed. I think they were fine with that. But I remember when Jim Gordon was announced for Pattinson Batman, people were just like, oh, here we go again. Or I remember when Game of Thrones showed some, whatever family they're from, where they're black but they have blonde hair, people were like, oh my God, here we go. Woke card, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, you see the actors and the actresses do the job, then you're just like, oh, this is really good. And then they stop. They're all silent. And I feel like even with those things, at this point, people should already know, like, oh, don't cast judgment so early. Like, wait for it. And people went at Batman, and now they're all quiet. There's no, like, Batman is woke videos being created right now. So I think if any of those people even attempted to watch a show, they'd be like, oh, wow, it's actually like a really good show. And the characters are really good. And Penguin, first episode, I was like, all right, I'm sold. This could be my Penguin.
Penguin kicks ass. And I'm pretty sure, could you look at the voice? I'm pretty sure it's Minnie Driver as the voice.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. I know I saw Christina Ricci as Catwoman. But, yeah, same thing. Like, people went nuts when they were like, oh, they're going to do a black Superman. And it's like, like, well, it's a different character. There's a black Superman in the comics. And if they want to do that movie,
yeah, you're
who
right.
the hell cares? You have a bunch of, oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of Clark Kent stories and whatnot, whatever. Yeah. The thing is, it's like, if they wanted to do Clark Kent and say he was black, the only thing is, you got to just keep to the lore.
Yes.
I don't give a shit if he's black, but
it
has to be the same story.
Yeah.
He has to crash land in Kansas.
Yeah.
You update it. Let's face it, black alien comes down in Kansas, and when Superman was first around, Mom and Pa might not be taking him in, so update to modern times.
Yeah.
And nobody will really give a shit, and that's it.
Yeah.
And, he still has to be, he can't be like, I don't know, what's a stereotype? I feel it's safer if I have you to say it. He can't be like, he has to like have the same mannerisms. He has to be like, act like a bumpkin and be all shy and whatnot. As Clark Kent, he can't be Clark Kent like, in the gym impressing people, like only doing 315 when he can bench press the whole building or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't give a shit what it is. Just like if it's going to be Batman, if it's Bruce Wayne, or if it's Clark Kent, if you're going to race swap, you just have to follow the same,
lore.
The same thing, the same lore. Thank you.
Well, two things. One, Josh is in the house. By the way? Huh?
Did I get us canceled? Are we on the air?
No, we're still good. We're still good at the moment.
Okay.
Josh is in the house. Good to see you. What was the question you had for him earlier?
Oh, do you still have your Batman Returns Batmobile where the center of it shot out? Yeah.
Let's see. And the second thing, McKenna Grace is in the show. Natalie Knight. Nocturna. I've not made it that far yet, so I don't know. I don't know who that is, but it's a great show. I gotta say, like I said, 5 episodes in, I'm all in. I'm liking the storyline. I don't want to spoil stuff, so I won't say too much. But what I will say is, once you're 5 episodes in, they do start to go into Batman / Bruce Wayne as a person, and I like it. I like it. It's different, but I like it. It's different, but yet it makes sense. But it's different, and I really I enjoy it. Josh said he thinks so, and then Dave said Soups could be black, Latino, Asian as long as the lore is there. It shouldn't matter. Hell, Dean Cain almost wasn't cast because they thought he looks too long for Lois and Clark. Too tall.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by that.
Yeah. Wait, McKenna, that will be the Ghostbusters nerds in if they aren't already in. Yeah. And Josh said he'll look for the Batmobile. Yeah. Mm. But no, it's good. 5 episodes in, it's good. A couple different villains have already appeared, very different from what we're used to. I'm all for it. It is very much a Batman year, like 2 kind of feel. It is. Yeah. I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, Batman, I feel only really works in like a 1950s, 40s kind of world because of tech. Like, at one point, the police are like, yeah, he's normally seen like flying down the streets in his car between like 10 and 4 in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, because if that was modern day and the police were routinely seeing him, they could be like, all right, turn the cameras on. Let's see where the car goes. Let's, X, Y, and Z. So I think it being in like the animated series type of universe, 1950s style, yeah, it makes sense that Batman could just drive off and they're just like, damn, can't catch him. He's gone.
Yeah.
So I very much enjoy that. Geek Strong in the house. Good to see you. But I hope all of you guys get a chance to watch it. Give it a shot. It is, if you liked the animated series so far, 5 episodes in, you will like it.
And just real quick, if for some reason you didn't like the animated series, get out.
Yeah. Mm.
You can't be saved. There's no redemption for you. If you don't like that series, get the fuck out.
So my friend Chris, who I mention from time to time, and I always say Chris hates everything because he kind of does.
Oh, God.
I told him, because he's younger than us, but he loves movie. He loves film. He's all about the writing. The writing's everything. I told him to watch the animated series, and I was like, it's a lot. So how about you watch Heart of Ice? It won an award. Some people argue it's the best, episodes of a cartoon on TV. So give that a shot. Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all.
Huh.
And I think part of it for him is he doesn't like the superhero genre because he's like, there's no way Batman walks through the door and you don't start laughing. Like, he's like, it's just impossible. So, and I can see the argument, but so all that to say, I do know one person who tried the show, didn't like it.
I mean, I'm just going to say it. You don't need that sort of negativity in your life.
You don't. You definitely don't. There's something else I was going to go to. Speaking of Batman. Oh, I remember. And then we'll talk about Ghostbusters and then we'll wrap.
Okay.
I watched a movie on the flight, I think, back from the Azores. And I remember liking the movie, but I was like, I'm going to watch it again just to see if it, holds up. And if you guys haven't seen it, you should change that. Batman vs. Ninja Turtles. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I don't think it comes up enough in conversations for like top Batman, like cartoons or movies or anything. Have you seen that or no?
I've only seen clips of it, and what I've seen I like. It's not on Max, I don't think. Where do you own it or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bought it a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
because it's
clips,
Nickelodeon, so that explains why it's not on Max.
Yeah, I don't think it's on. I can't check right now. I don't even think it's on. Paramount is Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon would be Paramount. Yeah, I don't think it's on there either.
Yeah, so it's probably like in a weird legal limbo because it's Batman and the Turtles.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, what I've seen I like.
There's only one part of it that I don't like. I won't say it because I don't want to spoil it. But there's one part I don't like about it. But overall, it's amazing. It's amazing. These toys came out long time ago. I passed on them a whole bunch of times. I think if I got them on like super clearance at this point in my collecting, I'd pick them up. But I remember in person seeing them and I was just like, like it doesn't do much for me. But the movie's dope. It is great. Batman versus the Shredder happens in it a couple times. It's amazing. And on here, slight spoiler, Ra's al Ghul's involved. So you have both the Foot Clan and the oh my god, what's this?
League of Shadows.
League of Shadows. You have both of them in Gotham at the same damn time, going at Batman and the Turtles, and it's great.
Nice.
It's great. So if you guys have not, check it out.
I will say real quick, I won't go into too much detail. I did complete my homework assignment. I just have to record it and talk about it. I did read, there's actually 2 Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtle comics.
Oh,
so
good.
I read
the
first one. I didn't read the second one yet, but the first one was pretty damn good. It doesn't, it doesn't really waste any time doing like too much of like they're turtles, or what are they doing? Oh, those guys have nuclear accelerators on their back. They must be the bad guys. There's not too much of that shit. It's just it's a pretty good story.
Yeah.
So I got to read the sequel and then talk about both of them. But I did my homework and then some.
I'm happy for you. And I'm glad that you're enjoying it because the story was pretty fun.
Oh, you have read it.
I watched the videos on it. You know how I do. I'm listening to somebody else read while I'm doing something else, and I'm probably doing something else while also doing something else.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's how I read, well, quote unquote, read the Star Wars comics in Marvel the first time around. I just listened to Star Wars Theory and his videos on that. But I blew through. I'm almost done with the Star Wars comic between A New Hope and Empire, and I'm done with the Vader between episodes 4 and 5, and I'm done with both Star Wars and Vader between episodes 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So, or I should say I'm all caught up. The stuff leading into Empire hasn't completely wrapped up yet. But if you want to, I'll let you have your show back in a second. If you want to get good Star Wars again in the time period that we all love and are terrified that they're going to just screw up, read the comics because they're pretty damn good. And Vader's never been as badass as he is in these comics. Hayden Christensen got to do some cool stuff in the Obi-Wan show, but Vader in these comics, holy shit.
I don't think we've verbally talked to each other about this, but is there any chance you end up picking? Oh, not this one. This one's also $335. That's crazy.
The Vader statue.
Well, it's not a statue. It's a friggin' action figure.
Friggin'.
Yeah.
No,
so you
it's
can get the other one for
$335,
$335, or spend an extra $40 and get this one that has like all this.
The which version is that? The deluxe or the highest one?
So technically there's 4 versions, but it's like there's the collector's edition, and then there's like their Sideshow Hot Toys special edition. These two are the same price. Special edition, you get this like half mask thing, quarter mask thing.
So
and
I
then
have to choose.
Huh?
I have to choose. There's no like pay the highest price and get everything.
There is. If you get the deluxe exclusive, right? You get the plastic cape, right? That's what's the deluxe. But deluxe exclusive also gets you this same like half broken mask. So if you want the half broken mask, you have to either get special edition or deluxe version exclusive. But the difference outside of that between the two is the plastic cape. So if you want that effect and for it to stay there, you'd want the plastic cape. And then I think you also get a base. You get you
better get a base.
Yeah. You get that thing.
I mean, you already know the answer. It looks sick as shit, but I'm not spending $500 on it.
Yeah.
I want to, but I'm not going to.
Ooh, I just noticed that too. Where is it? I want a close up of his hand. I don't think they have any close ups of the hand. I think his hand is kind of gold. It's like gold, like it was in the.
It looks like it's the
original
New Republic's fake hand.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the right hand that got lopped off in Clone Wars?
That's a great. No.
Was it?
Lucas left. I guess Vader's right.
General Kenobi.
Yeah, before you do your show, Kenobi, Anakin lost his left hand or his right hand?
In the Clone Wars.
In the Clone Wars.
But yeah, I mean, it looks amazing, but no, I won't spend
Anakin
two
lost
hundred
his right
dollars on
hand.
the. Oh, okay. So
And I was right. Luke lost his left hand. No, Luke also lost his right hand. Anakin was right hand. Luke was also right hand? Really?
yeah,
Oh, that's right. He's facing No. What? Holy shit, it is his right hand. 'Cause I remember the thing when Vader like does this, and so Luke is holding on. Oh yeah, he's holding on with his left hand. He goes like that, arm in the air. Ah! Yeah, okay. Yeah.
yeah. I wonder why it's gold then, because I would
Yeah, I
have
don't know.
thought. Yeah, that was actually the other thing. I'm sure there's been a video or a book. I always wondered if the right hand of Vader was the original this whole time, but probably not. The Emperor's fucked him up, and he's gotten fucked up pretty often in the comics. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. Um so just because I'm running out of time, aka we're running out of time, we're gonna have to talk about the Acolyte at some point. I don't think we've talked about that. We all watched it, we
ooh,
all hated it, but
yeah,
I do really want to even talk about the bleeding of the crystal, because that's something that we do for the first time see in the Vader comics, and they did their own thing in the Acolyte. So I do want a session where we completely shit on that.
okay, we can do that.
Geek Strong says, "Who the heck would spend 500 on a toy or collectible?" Oh wait, I did back 2 cantinas. He
Oh,
did.
jeez.
He bought 2 of them.
Oof.
I will say this though.
Having,
I will say this. He was smart in one aspect of it. I didn't think about it until he said it. Let me pull that up just so we can be reminded of the cantina. Haslab. Wait, why isn't it give me the option? Oh, this Hasbro redesign of the website is shit.
well, while you're looking it up, I'm so glad that the Morpher sold out before I could like ping pong back and forth anymore and ended up with it.
It might still be in GameStop. You might be able to find it there.
I'm not going to GameStop.
Oh, this is terrible. They don't show the old Haslabs anymore. Anyway, Haslab Cantina. You got some exclusive figures with it. So what I thought a lot of people would do with figures over time is because I was going to show you Cantina Haslab. Here you go. So what they did was they gave you exclusive figures that if it backed, you would get. They don't have it here. God damn it, man. Anyway, they gave you exclusive figures that if it backs, you get the figures. The problem is all the figures with all these Haslabs, they're on card. So if you're a collector who likes to have figures on card, you're like, great, I get those, but now I don't have those characters in the playset that I've purchased. So
Right.
I believed a lot of people would be buying, and I got this idea from JB's Toy Trunk. I thought a lot of people would be buying 2 of stuff because then they're like, all right, one cantina, for example, I'm going to take the figures, unbox them to use them in the cantina. The second purchase, I'm going to keep those figures on card. I'm going to sell the cantina. I thought that's the route people would take. Same thing with the
Right.
Ghost. Buy the Ghost, you have 2 sets of figures, and then you could sell the Ghost to somebody else for less money. But Geek Strong, in his video, he was like, no, reverse. I'm going to buy the cantina, unbox the figures, and then with the second cantina, I'm going to sell those figures on card to people that want them, and then sell pieces of the cantina to people who want them, and then make my money back on the cantina. But now he's saying that's exactly what I did. So did I get it wrong? Did you not do what I was saying? I thought what you did was you were going to sell the figures and sell the second cantina. Are you only selling the second cantina and you're keeping both sets of figures? I'm curious. But to me, that's kind of smart. If you have the chance to, you'd sell the on-card stuff to people, for like $100 each, and now you've made your money back. He said, no, I'm keeping a set on card. One will open. I'm keeping all the figures. Oh, okay. So I made that whole thing up. I think I had a good idea, though. Sell the figures, sell the cantina. Make your money back.
Yeah. I would probably sell the cantina and have a set of figures open and keep one on card. But I'm crazy.
It's funny. I'm actually going this weekend to sell a bunch of figures, and it's not even that much. My collection's really dwindling of like stuff on card. And I'm selling a bunch of stuff that I was saving to be on card that I'm like, I'm not going to display them anywhere. There's no point. So the only exception is Spider-Man.
Let me know
on
what
card.
you're selling.
I think it's stuff I've already asked you before, but I'll remind you guys.
Okay.
By the way, this is the one that I'm always surprised nobody ever jumps on. Screen share. Kino with a scooter. I'm selling that this weekend, pizza box and all, and 322 is wild. But I've asked people if they want to buy it, and everybody says no. So I'm like, oh, okay. I thought this was a figure everybody would want, but alas, can't find anybody who wants it. So I'm gonna sell it to a toy store this weekend because I have two. And it actually worked out because I bought two. I thought one to keep on box, one to open. And by the time Steve bought one, they ran out of the shirt size that he needed. So he ended up buying like a medium shirt. But I had bought extra large shirts, so I was able to swap him a shirt and then put the other shirt in here. So it worked out for him that way.
There you go.
But what I wanted to talk to you about, I kind of know your answer, but I still, these. So,
Yeah.
Mondo, I talked about it Monday. Mondo, long story short, they decide to give us the figures everybody has always wanted. In recent years, have really wanted as a recent fan, but the figures that everybody wanted never existed, similar to NECA with the turtle figures. You giving screen accurate figures never existed, highly in demand, highly requested, very niche figure. This isn't like everybody's going for it. This is a very niche market. I will acknowledge that. They decided to give you the figures for the first time and decide to F you at $100 a pop for a 6-inch figure.
Yeah.
As the hardcore fan in the group, even though you say I know more than you now, but you're the OG hardcore fan, is $100 a figure for 6-inch figures too much for you or no?
Yes. I'm not spending $100 on this figure. Like I said, I'll spend more money on stuff that I could cosplay with. Yeah. But like, what's their justification for the price? Like the movement or just the detail? Like, is there, because it looks like in the picture, it looks like Venkman's arm won't bend. Like, same thing for Egon. Like, do their elbows bend and shit, or are they locked in that pose?
No, they bend. They do bend. Okay. There's articulation. Not double jointed, but there's articulation.
I mean, they look great. I'm not trying to knock it. And like I always say, I'm not trying to sound like a cheap ass, but I'm just not paying $200 for, and it's 6 inches. I'm not paying $200 for a 6-inch figure. I'm not paying $100 to buy it individually. I think selfishly, I kind of hope that they what's the term you use, peg warm and
Yeah.
drop, and maybe if it goes down to $50 a piece or something, just for the Ghostbusters, not for any of the ghosts. Because that's the other thing too. Like the ghosts are cool, like, but I'm happy with just having the main guys. You know, like even Slimer, I would be happy. Like pair Slimer with Janine. You know.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sorry, I'm not paying $200 for that. They look great, and more power to you. But I can't imagine that it costs them that much money to make these things.
Yeah.
You know. So.
You know, I was thinking about it the other day as far as what I've talked about here on the channel. And, you know, one of the things I've mentioned is buying. I'm at the stage of collecting now where, and granted, I make way less money now than I used to with my new job. But I'm at the point now where I want to buy like definitive versions of things where it's like I'm buying the one version. It's exactly what I've always wanted. The ideal version of that character. So you're kind of like good to go. Like you're like, all right, I'm going to buy this and I don't have to buy it ever again. So I say all that because when it comes to these figures, I'm like, all right, if you buy this version of the figure, like that's it. Like you don't really need another RGB Spengler, right? Like that's as one can argue that's as close as you're ever going to get, right?
Right.
But I feel like it's such an asshole move to be like, hey guys, we're giving you the version you've always wanted. We've poured our heart and soul into this. We're gonna charge you 4 times the amount everybody else charges for figures of this scale at $100 a pop, where the average figure now $25 a pop. Now, JB's Toy Trunk, shout out to JB. He made a very, very good point. He DM'd me and he was like, you know, yeah, the price is really high on these things. But a lot of us are out here spending $65, $75, $85 on like a Mezco figure, SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Z figure. A lot of us are spending a lot of money on individual figures. What's another $25 at that point? Of which case, I said that's fair. That is a very, very fair argument. There's some
when you put it like that.
There's some figures behind me that I did spend 45, 50, 75 a piece. It's not often, but there's a few. But what I told him was, I think Ghostbusters is different, and this is, anybody can tear this argument apart. But to me, and there's JV right there. JV's in the chat.
Hey, JV.
To me, this one feels different because I think Ghostbusters as a franchise has always been about being for everybody. And even at its core, the Ghostbusters as characters, when I was reading the Ghostbusters like encyclopedia or whatever the hell it's called, they were like, oh yeah, like we didn't give them like clean flight suits and like they weren't millionaires that were able to build this stuff. Like we wanted them to be like the everyman's man, and we wanted everybody to feel like they could be a Ghostbuster. And that's why, like in the cosplay community, Ghostbusters is one of the few cosplay communities where like you don't have to cosplay as any character from the franchise, and people are just like, wow, that's awesome. Like you're you doing your thing. So I feel like with this, inherently it feels different because I'm like, Ghostbusters at its core is supposed to be for everybody. And when you decide to make a 6-inch figure at $100, and it's the only version that exists of that figure, I feel like you're really just taking advantage, and you're not trying to make it for everybody. You're trying to just make a crazy profit. And if for some odd reason, and trust me, without saying names, I've worked for companies where I know what happens behind the scenes, and I've seen the prices of things from behind the scenes. If Mondo is so dumb that, and I say this respectfully, that I will say that right now, as it's going to sound opposite, but I'm telling you, I'm saying it respectfully. If Mondo is so dumb that the cost to produce this figure to them per piece is north of $50, and therefore after marketing, shipping, and all that stuff, they have to charge $100 to turn a profit. You guys are idiots, and that is terrible business practice. Terrible business practice, if that's the case. But I'm willing to bet it's not. I'm willing to bet it's not costing them $50, $75 to make one of those, that they have to charge us the markup of $25 to make some sort of profit, and therefore we're at $101. Where they're like, the 3-pack is $202. Like, it don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah. No, I'm not, and I'm not in the toy hunting or in the toy community like you are, but no, I agree. There's no way that this costs, if like you said, they're nuts if they paid more than $50 to have this made. But the fact that they're going to charge $100 just for the Ghostbuster is it's ridiculous. Because, like, I mean, if anything, charge 50 and make it a limited run, right? Because then you'll get people buying like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense to do, but I'm just saying, $200 for the 3 set, and then $100, 101, 202, and that's, and like you've said it, that price is just annoying too. Make it the flat 100 or 200. Where's this extra $1 or $2?
Yeah, what's it $2 for?
But no, they're nuts. They can't possibly cost that much to make. They're just being greedy assholes because they do know that this is the version that people want, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like what's kept me from pulling the trigger. I mean, your thoughts also, but that's why I don't have the animated series Batman yet, because I'm waiting for the definitive version of the figure, and you haven't told me it's out yet, so I haven't bought one yet. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see these being the definitive version of the real Ghostbusters, but I'm sorry I'm not paying $800. Probably what with shipping $900.
Yeah.
Maybe $950 with tax.
Once you get all 4, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying all 4 shipping and tax. I'm not paying $950 for Yeah.
No, and it's funny. I joked with Toy Gains on YouTube. I was like, who would have thought somebody would come out here and make Super 7 look good? Where Super 7's charging, their base price is $55. This new version of Lino, I keep saying Lionel. This new version of Lino that has glowing eyes, they're charging extra $10, so it's $65. But who would have thought Super 7 would be looked at as cheap compared to somebody else? Like, mind blowing.
Yeah, and you get all that stuff with it.
Yeah. So JB says, I think the price is for both figures, Ghostbuster and Ghost. It's for 3 actually. So you get the Ghostbuster, you get the big Ghost. So you get either like Sam Hain with Venkman or Mr. Sandman with Spengler. You get the Ghostbuster, one of the 2 bigs, and you get one of the little small ones. But they said they're going to release the individual Ghostbusters on their own, confirmed at $101, literally 101 for each one of these without the other ghosts. Ain't happening. Yeah.
Can't do it.
JB said, whoa, I misunderstood that. Oh, which number? You thought it was 202 for all 4? Patrick says, the Ghostbuster pack makes my TMNT 2003 pre-order light work. Yeah. Yeah. He's talking about, let's see if here we go. He's talking about these from the 2003 show. 55 a pop, essentially, for all of these. So, yeah. I told you guys before, my beef with this 4-pack was the bonus. Because what Super 7 does is if you pre-order an entire wave at once without a price change, they give you a bonus, like extra accessories. And in this case, the extra accessories were 4 heads that 2 out of the 4 are pretty close to what you're getting with the base figure anyway. So I was like, scumbag move. Accessory should have been something completely different, because this is one of those rare cases where people will most likely are going to buy all 4 at once versus, I'll buy these 2, maybe I'll wait to buy the other 2. No, you're going to buy all 4. So make the bonus something that's like actually like cool to have. You know?
Yeah.
Like look at these 2 Johnny heads and then look at this one. Like really, like this is going to break like the bank where you're like, oh, I need to have this one instead of like this one. Like, no. So that's my beef with them.
Sounds valid to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, the JB said, I'm tracking now. Sorry for misunderstanding. You don't have to apologize. I'm curious, though, what did you think the price was? I'm curious to think what you thought. Any last words before we wrap today's episode?
Again, good to have you back. I said it on when you and I talked about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep.
If anybody hasn't, go see Deadpool and Wolverine. Not that they need me advertising for them. And I think tomorrow I have a new unboxing, very much in the Ghostbusters world, coming out. So tune into that.
Yep.
And yeah, a couple more comic reviews coming down in the next couple weeks. That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back. And I will say, sadly, but in a good way, I think next Thursday's show might move and the following Monday might move because my dad's visiting and got to pick him up at the airport and then drop him off at the airport. And both of those happen to be Thursday and Monday. So I will probably move HeyArcher Live next week to Wednesday, maybe. And then Nerdy Coffee that following Monday will be moved to like Tuesday or Wednesday. So 2 slight changes, but we'll still do 2 shows going forward. And yeah. Also, JB says, I thought 100 is for the Ghostbuster and the Ghost Goblin. Oh, yeah, no. 202. $202 is for the Ghost and the Goblin. He says, welcome back.
For 6 inches, I don't know if $100 is worth it for a 6-inch figure, is it?
$100 for 3 figures, I would have said was okay. Ghostbuster, Big Bad, and then like whatever the little version was, Slimer or whoever. That's also an asshole move. I didn't even think about that. Sorry, last thing before we wrap. It's so $202 is for 3 things. One of them is with Slimer, and like you could say what you will about the ghosts from the intro of the TV show. Slimer is pretty essential to your collection if you're collecting Ghostbusters. Oh, sorry. So to say the only way to get Slimer is to pay $202 for a 3-pack is also very asshole. So, and come on, look at Sam Hain has what? The jaw articulation, arm, so 2, elbow 3, hip 4. This, even though there's a joint there, you're not moving that. Like he has to stand like that. So I'm not even going to count that. 1, 2, wrist 3, shoulder 4, 5, 10 points of articulation. And you're telling me that's worth 50 bones? Sorry, you're telling me that's worth 100 bones because it's 100 and 100 for 202. 75, whatever. Eat a you know what. That's all I'll say.
A hot dog.
Eat a hot dog, yeah. Don't chew. Just swallow it. But yeah, The camera lasted. The battery lasted. All is well. This is going to be the new camera. The M50 is going away. It's a wrap on that. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Anthony, the Rambling Nerd, as he said, he has a new video dropping tomorrow. So make sure you guys check that out here on the channel. He also has his own Instagram, Rambling Nerd on Instagram. So make sure you follow that. And just in case, any other last words?
I can't. DC is going apeshit with, and not in a good way, in the Batman books. So I hope that we settle back down soon. I'm not enjoying anything that I'm reading in the main Batman title, which is so sad to me.
And that's why you guys have to watch the videos to hear his disappointment as he reviews these books.
The Nightwing stuff is good. So that, if you want happy, listen to Nightwing. If you want criticism, Batman.
There you go. Yeah, I feel you. Hey, the superhero space for all of us, hot and cold, hit or miss, it is a thing. HeyArcher Live, usually every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. Every Monday morning-ish, 8 a.m.-ish, Nerdy Coffee. 2 different shows, 2 different vibes. Either way, you're stuck with this guy, the Rambling Nerd himself, Anthony, dropping videos every Friday here on the channel. He's also making shorts now. The guy's making like TikToks now, so he's big timing us for sure. And whether he admits it or not, his toy collection continues to grow.
Oh, I admit it. It's just begrudgingly.
Like, comment, subscribe to everybody in the chat. All dope creators here in the space. Love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, have a drink, and we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. We're out of here.
specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.